Everyone has their favorite villain in Star Wars Battlefront 2, and usually one or two they tend to lean towards. The big question is, which one's the absolute best? Stick around for the comments, I'm sure we'll have a heated debate. Today, we're talking about the best villain in Star Wars Battlefront 2. You currently have 8 to choose from across 3 eras, and while most are in the original trilogy, cross-era heroes allow you to play the ones that you love regardless of the map. While all the heroes are good in the right hands, and with good practice, even Phasma can land a Staff Strike or two before she gets gunned down in a hail of gunfire. Which one is the absolute best? This one was a hard one, since I really love to play a variety, so to make it easier, I looked at 4 categories, and there's only one that has everything that I look for. Before we get into that, oh, I just made someone mad. Remember that community is the most important thing, and here we try to foster a positive and fun community. You can join us. Head over to the StarWarsGaming.net and sign up on their forums. On the general forums, you'll find the Greeny Weenie master list, and there's a link in the description. There you'll find a list of awesome people to play with for every system. Then check out the rest of the site. They have info on everything you could imagine and post up-to-date news and information. They're truly a great resource for Battlefront 2 and the Battlefront 2 community. As we go through this, let me know what categories you look for in a hero, and which one do you believe is the best. Or just say hi so I know that you were here. So let's go over the categories I looked at. The first one is lethality. This drops 2 heroes pretty quick. While I love Boba and Phasma is okay, they both have weak weapons, and Boba relies a lot on his rockets. Next, we looked at health regeneration. Sadly, we lose Kylo, who is another favorite of mine. Spamming cowards is a ton of fun. And this also drops Maul, who is always more fun on open maps. It's no surprise that you still see the 2 most popular heroes, Palpatine and Bossk. Both are very strong, but sadly, neither one hit the next category, which is a stun or a crowd control. This leaves 2 heroes, Vader and Iden, and 1 category to go. And that's adaptability. This leaves us with only the absolute best, Iden. Iden is super easy to use, so even new players can do well with her. Even though she doesn't become the massive powerhouse until level 25, this is due to her TL50 being extremely accurate, so it's much more lethal than the heavies version, and this allows her to be very effective at every range. And even the sight gives you a center dot that really should be on every heavy weapon. Iden also has a secondary fire, giving her even more options on how to engage and to finish off her enemies. The secondary fire will one-shot most trooper classes, not to mention that the secondary fire makes her extremely lethal to other heroes as well, since they can't block the explosives with their lightsaber. There are 2 cards that you can use to improve her primary weapon. One to reduce the heat buildup on the primary fire, and one to allow her to use the secondary fire more often. And these are honestly amazing in Hero Showdown, since there's less targets and no respawn. But there are better options if you're looking at Galactic Assault and Heroes vs Villains. The next thing is a health back on stun. It's a buy one get one. Iden's health back card is probably the strongest out of all the heroes and villains. Well, I guess Bossk is technically stronger, but that's for another video. While most gain health back on elimination, Iden gets it back when her droid shocks someone. This allows her to get health back without actually engaging, since you can shock and then just seek cover again, and you can stun more than one enemy at once if they're close enough together. This can get you from almost dead back to full health if you manage to get a large enough stun off. You will need to use a card slot in order to get the benefit from the stun, but the only time it's not worth it is Heroes Showdown, where there's only 2 targets and the rounds are super quick. The stun will also lock an enemy hero down, allowing you to drop them quickly and get some free headshots. In the span of 2 stuns, you can drop any lightsaber hero by yourself, making her a force to be reckoned with in the hero modes and extremely lethal in Galactic Assault, since both troopers and heroes can be dropped just as easily. There are several more cards you can run to improve the stun effects and make your healing even better. The first one is to decrease the cooldown for the shock droid and the bubble shield. This card is always a solid choice for the shock droid alone, but since it's a dual purpose card, it's even better for Galactic Assault. I run this card all the time since it basically just allows you to spam the shock button the whole time. The next card I run is always the increased shock radius. This makes it easier to lock large groups of troopers down, allowing you to get the most health back each time it goes off. This one, however, is only really good in Galactic Assault, and you also have the option to increase the search range of your shock droid, allowing your droid to go further out. I don't really use this one mainly because when I use it, it seems that the droid goes for the farthest target and not the one that's closer that I want it to hit. I don't know if this is by design or if it's just my own perspective, but that's how I feel about it. Next, we have adaptability. And as I've said, Iden's TL50 alone is solid at all ranges. Her secondary fire makes it easy to take down pretty much anything. I mean, I wouldn't take on an armored or tank by yourself, but you can take down any infantry unit and do so with confidence. On top of that, we have her ultimate ability, which is her pulse cannon. While this is her middle ability, and usually that's reserved for your strongest moves, the pulse cannon is probably the ability I use the least. It can be effective on Crate Phase 1 or Hoth, I guess, but other than that, it doesn't do enough damage with each charge and pull of the trigger. While you can get a card to help teammates out by allowing your targets that you hit to be marked, again, I don't use this ability enough to justify using a card slot for it. And honestly, there are better cards for every game mode out there. The last ability that we haven't really talked about is the shield. The shield is like the specialist shield, but a bit stronger. It doesn't stop everything from getting through, but it will buy you some time if you overextend and get caught off guard by some troopers. I tend to use the shield to run into the back of the cave on Crate, since for some reason, people tend not to shoot at you when they see the shield up, but once back there, you can wreck the resistance as they leave the spawn. I did it once as a joke, but it seriously works every single time. Now, how long you live when you get back there depends, especially on how many people are looking at their minimap since you show up there. But other than using it to get behind everyone, the shield is pretty much an OSH ability. There is a card that can increase its health as well, but again, there are better options out there, and you can increase the time with the card, but it's already pretty long as is and will get you where you need to go. While Iden is the best hero, there are some downsides. Like all ranged heroes, she'll get destroyed by a lightsaber hero that manages to get in close, especially if the shock is on cooldown. Her shield can't stop melee, and since the rolling was nerfed, you end up getting locked down pretty easily, and you can't really escape until the shock comes back up. The next downside is really just the pulse cannon. It'll take 2 fully charged shots to kill pretty much a full health trooper, except for the specialist, but you can look at a specialist and they'll just fall over dead anyway. Landing the 2 shots can be difficult to do since the recharge does take some time. The recharge time was decreased in a patch, so it doesn't take as long as it used to, but it can still take a little while to get done. Third, we have her overall health. Iden's health pool is at the bottom of the pack at 650. The health on the shock helps this, but if you kill the shock target before the droid gets there, you lose the cooldown and the health gain. So it's important if you're low not to kill the target your droid is going after, and you can tell which one this is since they'll be outlined in white. While you can play aggressively with her, you do need to play it really smart and not just go in guns a-blazing. Iden can be a glass cannon, especially if you're not patient enough to let the shock go off to get you your health back. So what do you think? Is Iden the best villain? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, give that like button a click and then subscribe. Your support means the world to me. And then you can come join us on the streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central. If you're on the PlayStation 4, feel free to hop in at any point. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in game.